YouTube tends to have two different forms of A-roll content. Either content that is simply just go with the flow, while for more professional videos, such as for the purposes of education, are scripted. I've recently transitioned from just rambling a mess of words out to scripting and tidying them up, but there's a slight issue with that. See, my memory absolutely sucks, and there is no way I can memorize a script for a video, leaving me no choice but to read it while recording. And this issue is not unique to me. Other more professional YouTubers do the exact same thing, like Linus Tech Tips or Technology Connections. They read scripts as they're recording their videos. But those with common sense may be perplexed by this. Despite that these YouTubers are reading from a script, it doesn't really look like it. It appears as if their eyes are glued to the camera instead of a tablet with the script offset from it, like in this earlier video of mine. How do they actually do that? Magic? Of course not. But there is an illusion involved. You may have heard these YouTubers describe them using a teleprompter before, but have they ever shown you what they actually are? You're probably thinking, oh, it's just a tablet displaying your script right next to the camera. That's partially correct, but not entirely. If I were to place my tablet beside the camera, I'm no longer going to look at the camera so I can read my script. So if I want to make it seem like I'm looking at the camera and having a conversation with you guys while reading my script, I need to find a way to put those words directly in front of the camera. I know what you're thinking. That's impossible! But as a matter of fact, it's not. I just added a second camera angle showcasing what I'm looking at while recording this A-roll footage. As you can see, I'm looking at a mostly black box with my script scrolling along. This is a teleprompter, and directly behind those words you see is the camera recording the A-roll footage. And yet, you don't see any artifacts or text disturbing the video. So how does this thing actually work? It's really simple, actually. That screen that's displaying my script isn't actually a screen. It's just a piece of glass. Right underneath that piece of glass is my iPad Pro, which is really what's displaying my script with mirrored text. That text is then reflected off that glass with its direction being corrected, which eventually reaches my eyes. And to prevent any unwanted reflections from the camera side of that sheet of glass, we enclose the viewing area to a pitch black cavity, since black absorbs all light. Using this luminous illusion, we now have the ability to project a full-fledged script in front of the camera and still look like we are having a direct conversation with you, the viewer. In fact, before I began scripting my content, I used to have issues with looking at my camera, primarily because the design on the back of my iPhone 13 Pro Max just doesn't look all that pretty. But now that I am forced to look in one spot, I can now focus my attention towards the camera with the hopes of making my content more engaging. At this point, I just need to work on not sounding like I'm reading a script to make the conversation more natural. Thanks for watching, and do me a favor and interact with the buttons below. Also, do me a favor and check out my Patreon page. I would seriously appreciate that. This is the Random Alpha Gadgets, signing out. Either content that is simply just go with the flow while you didn't even make it through the second line. Nice. You may have heard these YouTubers describe them. Wow. There's a typo. That's what happens when you don't proofread. You may have heard these YouTubers describe literally. I just told myself there's a mistake in the script, and what did I do? I made the exact same mistake. What the heck? That text is then reflected. No, yep, that's reflected. I thought it was refracted. Before I began scripting my comment, it's content. Somehow I graduated high school and this is how I read. Jeez.